The internet is on fire with leaks about the DJI Neo 2. Every single day, it seems like we get a new render, a new rumored spec, or another reason to believe this is the lightweight, go-anywhere drone we've all been praying for. The leaks are painting this picture of a tiny, budget-friendly drone that's going to completely change the game. But what if that picture is missing some key details? What if behind all of the incredible hype, there are some pretty significant, calculated compromises and a very deliberate reason DJI is letting these secrets get out? Today, we're not just looking at the leaks, we're looking straight through them. We're going to expose the 5 critical things you need to understand before you even think about buying the DJI Neo 2. Because what DJI isn't telling you is way more important than what they are. First up, and maybe the most misleading thing of all, is the camera. The headline rumor is that the Neo 2 is getting a massive sensor upgrade, maybe even a 1-inch, but more likely the 1.3-inch sensor you'd find in the much pricier Mini 4 Pro. And yeah, on paper, that sounds amazing. 4K 60 FPS, incredible low light. It seems like a dream for a drone that's supposed to be under $300. But here's the crushing reality. This is a classic DJI move. They hand you incredible hardware, and then they intentionally cripple it with software. The original Neo's camera fell apart in anything but perfect daylight, full of noise and grain. While a bigger sensor in the Neo 2 will definitely help, don't fool yourself into thinking it's going to perform like a Mini 4 Pro. Why? Because DJI will almost certainly lock away the very features that would let you take advantage of that great sensor. Think about what makes a camera feel pro. It's not just the sensor size, it's control. We're talking about things like 10-bit D-Log for serious color grading, advanced modes like hyperlapse, and full manual control over your image. The original Neo had none of that, and it's a safe bet the Neo 2 won't either. DJI has to protect its lineup. They are not about to sell you a $300 drone that produces the same image as their $800 one. It's called product segmentation. They'll give you that bigger sensor so they can slap 1.3-inch sensor on the box and trick people into thinking they're getting a flagship camera for a bargain. But the final footage will likely be heavily processed, lack dynamic range, and be stripped of all the pro features that creators actually need. The second hidden flaw is about one of the most basic parts of any drone: stabilization. The marketing is going to scream about cinematic smoothness, but you have to understand what that actually means. The Neo 2 is almost certainly going to rely on electronic image stabilization eyes, not a 3-axis mechanical gimbal like the Mini series. And that is a massive, massive compromise. A mechanical gimbal physically isolates the camera from the drone's vibrations, giving you genuinely smooth footage. IS, on the other hand, is a software trick. It crops into your image and shifts the frame around to fake the smoothness. This causes two big problems. First, you lose a chunk of your field of view right off the bat. And second, it can create bizarre warping and artifacts in your video, especially when you're turning sharply or fighting the wind. While DJI's software stabilization like Rocksteady is good, it's still just software. Now, think about that in the real world. You want to use an ND filter for some nice, cinematic motion blur. Eyes can get confused and create a jello-like effect, trying to fly an automated quick shot on a breezy day. The original Neo was known to struggle in the wind, and while the Neo 2 might be better, its lightweight design and reliance on EIS mean it's still going to get pushed around. The stabilization might look great in a perfectly still room, but its flaws show up the second you step outside. This brings us to point number 3, the massive gap between what's advertised and what you actually get. DJI, like a lot of tech companies, loves to give specs that were tested in a perfect lab bubble. The original Neo advertised an 18-minute flight time, but most people were lucky to see 14 or 15 minutes, especially in the cold or with a bit of wind. It claimed level for wind resistance, but in reality, moderate gusts could make it feel unstable and unsafe. The leaks for the Neo 2 are following the exact same script. Rumors are pointing to a flight time of around 22 to 25 minutes. That sounds way better, but you have to apply that real-world discount. You should realistically expect something closer to 18 to 20 minutes. That for a 5-minute difference is everything when you're trying to nail a shot or just get the drone home safely. It's the difference between landing comfortably and having a panic-inducing low battery warning. This isn't just an inconvenience, it can be a safety issue. A drone that can't handle a sudden gust of wind is a drone that can get lost. A battery that dies minutes before you expect it to is a drone that can fall out of the sky. The marketing will show you this powerful, tough little drone, but you have to remember its physical limits. At the end of the day, the Neo 2 will still be an ultralight drone, and physics always wins. So when you see those big, flashy numbers on the box, just do yourself a favor and cut them by about 20% to get a picture of what it'll actually be like to fly. Hey, if you're finding this breakdown useful and you want to stay ahead of the marketing hype, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it helps the channel keep making these kinds of honest, in-depth videos. It really means a lot. Alright, flaw number 4 is one of the most frustrating ones, the hidden cost of just using the drone you bought. A huge selling point for the Neo line is simplicity. You can fly it with just your phone. Sounds great, right? No need for a big, expensive controller. It's how they get that super low starting price. But it's a trap. Flying with your phone is a terrible experience. It's a Wi-Fi connection, which means your range is pathetic, maybe 150 feet or so, and the video feed can be a choppy, unreliable mess. Want to actually fly the drone more than a stone's throw away? Want to unlock its full potential? You have to buy one of DJI's proprietary remote controllers. And just like that, the $250 drone you thought you were getting is now a $400 or $450 package. This isn't an accident, it's by design. It's an intentional upsell. Based on how DJI handled the original Neo, it's also possible that some camera controls could be locked away unless you buy the remote. Phone control is a gimmick. It's for showing your friends a cool party trick in the backyard. It is not for serious flying. So, when you're budgeting for the Neo 2, you absolutely have to factor in the cost of a real controller. Otherwise, you're just buying a drone you can never truly use. Finally, let's talk about the 5th and maybe most concerning flaw, a critical safety feature that will almost certainly be left out. To get that weight under 250 grams and hit that low price, DJI has to make cuts. And one of the first things on the chopping block will likely be AirSense. AirSense is DJI's system that detects nearby planes and helicopters, giving you a warning on your screen so you can stay out of their way. It's a core part of DJI's safety mission, and it's in their higher-end drones like the Mini 4 Pro. But the Neo 2? It's highly unlikely to have it. This creates a really weird double standard. On one hand, DJI is marketing the Neo as a go-anywhere drone. On the other, they're removing a key piece of tech that helps you fly safely in those very places. This isn't just a missing pro feature, it's a gap in your awareness as a pilot. It puts the entire burden of airspace safety on you, without the technological net that other DJI pilots get. Plus, the original Neo was surprisingly loud for its size, which isn't great for flying discreetly. If the Neo 2 is similar, you'll have a drone that is not only less aware of its surroundings but also more disruptive to them. DJI is effectively selling a drone that is less safe by design, all to hit a price point. So, let's wrap this up. We've got a camera system that is likely crippled by software, a stabilization system built on compromises that will probably let you down in the real world, misleading performance specs that create a safety gap, hidden costs just to unlock basic functionality, and a critical safety feature left on the cutting room floor. Is the DJI Neo to the revolutionary budget drone the leaks want you to think it is? Or is it a cleverly marketed collection of well-hidden compromises? The truth is, it's probably both. For a total beginner who just wants to fly around the yard and take a few selfies, this might be a fantastic and cheap way to get started. But for anyone who wants to create content they're actually proud of, these flaws could easily be deal breakers. The real secret of the DJI Neo 2 is that DJI isn't selling you a cheaper Mini 4 Pro. They're selling you the world's most advanced toy drone, and they're betting you won't notice the difference until after your card has been charged. But that's just my take based on the leaks and DJI's track record. I really want to know what you all think. Are these potential flaws enough to make you pass on the Neo 2, or are you still excited? Let me know your honest thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and fly safe.